What is up, everybody? In today's video we're going to be analyzing a Chess960 game, and Chess960 is basically chess but all the pieces are randomized. So for example, bishop was supposed to be here, knight here, and this rook here, but in Chess960 the pieces are randomized. So that's the game. So today we're going to be analyzing a game. Now in this game I'm playing as black. Black was victorious, so we're going to see how that happened. And we're also going to be checking out the interesting parts of this game, the blunders, and the amazing moves. So let's see. Let's start with c3. I start with knight e6. Bishop moves to f5. It doesn't matter because the knight's already defended, so we're going to play pawn c6. Bishop captures. We capture. Then king moves to b1. We give him a check with our queen. Pawn blocks. We're going to play knight f7. Knight e3, also developing it. But we're going to activate it even more. White moves his knight to g3, also developing it. Black captures. White recaptures. We capture the rook. Queen captures. Then we move our queen to f7, offering a trade. White accepts it. And then we also allow the bishop to develop. White moves to g4. We move our pawn. And then white moves e4. We do king d7. And then bishop d4. Pawn to g6. Then knight moves to h6. But we move the bishop to e8. This is an important part of the game because if now the bishop was already defended, so we didn't have to move it back, which is worsening our position because now on one of our active pieces, we turned it from an active piece to a passive piece, and we don't want that. So, and also white pushes his knight back. We move our pawn, attacking the bishop. Bishop comes to f6, and this is a blunder. This is a blunder of a minor piece. So after pawn takes, black is winning. Like whenever a minor piece is captured, now we're winning. Alright, knight captures that pawn. It's a check and a fork. So with our king to defend the bishop, he captures. We recapture with our rook. Then white pushes h4. We go back. King moves. Then we have knight to e5, activating it more. Pawn pushes to attack the knight. We capture, white recaptures, and re-attacking the knight. But we move it, and it gives a check. King attacks the knight, so we move it to f2. Then rook f1 attacks. We capture the pawn. Rook attacks again, so we capture another pawn. Then pawn moves to d5. We can't take because it's pinned, so we're just gonna move our knight back to f5. Rook captures. King moves to defend the rook. White captures. We recapture. Now to g4. Knight captures, and now we're in the end game. So now the king starts moving. We also move. Then king moves to d3. We push h5, and instead of capturing, white moves his pawn to lock the position. We move the knight to g2, king moves to e4, then h4, and then king f3 and h3. This is the critical part of the game. There's no way to save the pawn in case the pawn is attacked, so we have two choices. We can retreat our knight and that pawn black capture our pawn. But even though that seems like the most obvious move, we have a better move in mind. After king moves to g3, we move our knight to f4, which is the idea. See, now black can't capture the pawn because the knight is defending, but it's a knight sacrifice. The point is that if black captures the knight, then pawn can push, and then there's just no stopping it. Okay, so after we push back, black can either capture the knight and then the pawn will promote, or he just does it. And in this case, black detected what will happen, so he just plays king to h2. So knight, but we captured the pawn. The point is that even though we gave up that pawn, it was very important because that pawn was defending, was protecting against the king activating more. So we gave up that pawn, that passed pawn, but now our king can be activated and we can easily promote from there. At the king captures, we're going to move our king to e6, activating it more. White pushes, we push, then king g3, knight to c3. Then after pawn moves, we push d5. We're going to try to get that pawn to promote now. White moves his king to f3, getting closer. We push again. Then black moves to f2. We push d3. Then king e1. And then king d5. And then we have d2. Now this was a very important part of the game. We push d4, and now king pushes to c1. We do e3, and now we do cat king b2. Now this is a critical part of the game because our knight is being attacked now. So what do we do now? We play king, we pawn d2. The point behind this move is that now king moves to c2, and now we have two choices. We can promote the pawn or we can save the knight. If we save the knight, then it might be a bit tricky to promote the pawn. But what do? We don't care about that knight. We sacrifice that knight. We just promote, and black, it's a check, and black just takes the knight. And now it's time for the checkmate. Now we start with queen moves to d3 and gives a check. King moves to b2, and then king d2, preventing the king from running. He hides in a corner. We push the king even more, threatening a checkmate. Then we have king a2. We capture the pawn with check. King moves to b3, and he moves to a1, and now checkmate. Checkmate in 52 moves. This is my favorite part about this game. It requires strategy because normally in a normal chess game we'd have like moves that we'd always play, but Chess960 requires us to think. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. Last video got 3 views. They were all from me. So please do check out my videos and let me know if you like them. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.